Spending $2 to save $1 is a bad decision. But that's exactly what we do when we fail to fully consider the impact of all of our decisions. Now, my father is a frugal man, and he would drive out of his way to save 5 cents per gallon on gas. And he was so proud of himself for saving that $1, but he failed to consider all of the impacts. What about the extra gas that it took to drive that far? What about the increased likelihood that he got into an accident? What about the time value of his money? In fact, what he was doing was spending $2 to save $1. So let me tell you a little story about a tragic accident that happened in Rhode Island. There was a small decision made to include pyrotechnics in an indoor concert at a nightclub that had a disastrous effect. A whole nightclub was engulfed in flames as a result of this one simple decision. It killed 100 people, hundreds of people were injured, 3 people went to jail, and it cost over $100 million. Now, that simple decision to start with the pyrotechnics, nobody knew at that time that it was going to be that big of a deal. But when the pyrotechnics went off at the beginning of the concert and it ignited the plastic foam, within just a few minutes, the whole nightclub was engulfed in flames. Now, the people who made that decision, I don't think they fully considered all of the impacts. And that small and simple decision, along with several others, like having too many people in the nightclub, not having a sprinkler system, not having adequate insurance, all of those things, all of those small and simple decisions ended up having a huge impact. Now, I think if they would have gone back and could have had a do-over, they would have made a different decision. If they would have considered that their decisions would kill people, that people would go to jail, that as a result of it, hundreds of people would be injured, and that it would cost over $100 million, I think they would have made a different decision. But that's exactly what can happen when we fail to consider the full impact of our decisions. What we start off and think about as something that has a small exposure can end up having millions or even billions of dollars of impact.